Several factors resulted in our acquiring a committed relationship. When we first dated in April of 1964, the conditions were right for acquiring a committed relationship.
I was 26, had graduated from the University of Toronto, and was teaching math in Windsor, Ontario.
I was 27. I had graduated with a BA and MA from Eastern Michigan University, had completed 2 years active duty in the United States Army, and was teaching math and English in Rochester, Michigan.
At this time in our lives, we were ready to marry. Charles proposed and I accepted. However, a month before we had our first date, I'd signed a contract to teach in Niagara Falls, Ontario. Our time of dating was extended to the end of the next school year. The time we dated was a time of learning about and developing trust in each other and in the rightness of our relationship. You can learn by meeting a person's family. On my way back from a visit to my mother in Saskatchewan, I stopped in Michigan and met Charles' parents. Charles met my mother when she traveled from Saskatchewan to visit me in Niagara Falls.
During the winter, I would often travel to Niagara Falls, traveling by train from Detroit to Welland, where Dorothy would meet me. Weekends and letters gave us the opportunity to share experiences, values, and beliefs. It was an opportunity to confirm that nothing about us would result in rejection by the other.
Planning for our future life together increased our trust in our ability to work well together and to function independently when necessary. In Niagara Falls, I arranged for us to be married at the United Church of Canada and scheduled a reception at the Cairncroft Hotel. By spring, we had contracted to teach at a school in Michigan and visited the US consulate in Toronto to obtain my green card. In June, my landlady's daughter hosted our rehearsal dinner, and my landlady's family gave us the use of their Lake Erie cottage for our honeymoon.
Another factor in acquiring a committed relationship is that we both assumed that the marriage vows were a lifetime commitment. Perhaps that was partly the result of growing up in the 40s and the 50s. We have disagreements and we each have personality traits that annoy the other, but the commitment to each other and to our relationship means that when there is discord, the focus is on the restoration of harmony.
Our commitment was strengthened by our recognition that each of us has strengths and abilities the other does not have, and that the relationship enables us to use those strengths and abilities to our advantages as a couple. When we sought a court settlement to divide property owned tenants in common by Charles and his sister, we had 25 years of financial documents that I had created and kept to support our case. Charles, who had retained letters and other documentation, created spreadsheets, assembled 131 pages of trial exhibits, and wrote the 4-page declaration and 4-page trial brief.
The committed relationship is also strengthened for our caring for and looking out for each other. When Dorothy collapsed after coming home from donating blood, but was reluctant to seek medical treatment, I called the Red Cross, made the decision to call 911, followed the ambulance to the hospital, and spent a few hours with Dorothy in the ER until she could come home.
When his prostate cancer returned 5 years after a prostatectomy, Charles was seeing a urologist. During our meeting with a radiologist, I asked if he should see an oncologist. That resulted excuse me, that resulted in the radiologist scheduling an appointment for Charles with an oncologist who was also the director of prostate cancer research at the Carmanos Cancer Center in Detroit.
When times are difficult because of the established commitment, the difficulties resulted in a reaffirmation of our commitment of us as a couple. When we were dealing with our younger son's attempted suicide, his years of hospitalization, and our withdrawal of life support, when one of us felt the weight of the experience, the other acted to lift the weight.
When one of us was too upset to deal effectively, the other consciously made the decision to maintain objectivity and effectiveness. Our relationship is a caring relationship. Our experience has given each of us the confidence that we are cared for and loved.
Our committed relationship is a safe space where we can dwell with our differences and occasional discord, but always encompassed by love. Thank you.